Hi everyone, Lauren from A Girl and Her Wool here, and I'm really excited to do this vlog today. I am going to show you all of my current WIPs that I have on the needles right now, and normally if you're familiar with this channel, I've been doing a lot more vlog, day in the life, highlight type posts, and so today I'm going to do a little bit more structured run through of the projects that I'm working on. If you're curious about the sweater that I'm wearing, this is the Pavement sweater, and I knit this out of Once Upon a Corgi yarn in her tweed base, her Aran base. And if you want to see more about this, check out the vlog that will go live on Friday, which will be a highlight of this sweater. So make sure you subscribe so you get notified when that is published. So I've actually recently finished up a lot of projects, which means that I don't have too many on the needles right now, but I will show you what I have, and then also kind of show you some of the ones that I am going, and then I'll show you the ones that I'm going to be casting on. So of course I'm partway through the needle, but these are socks that I'm working on. These are 2 at a time socks that I'm knitting on Magic Loop. I'm just knitting a vanilla sock. The yarn is Desert Vista Dye Works and the colorway is Silver Linings Playbook. I am knitting these toe up 2 at a time, which is one of my 2 normal ways to knit them. So if I'm going to be doing it Magic Loop, I prefer to do 2 at a time and get them both over with. But right now my current favorite style of knitting socks is to use my DPNs, and with those I just do 1 at a time. So these are socks that I'm using leftover yarn from, so I knit my husband a pair of socks just like these as part of the monthly sock club that Desert Vista Dye Works does. And while during the holidays his dad saw them and kind of mentioned that he wanted similar socks as well. So I am knitting these up out of the leftovers, like I said. Because I didn't have too much yarn left over, I'm doing the heels and the cuffs that you can see a couple of lines of. I'm doing that out of a contrast color. So this is Valley Yarns Huntington in black, which is just a basic sock yarn, and it's just a black colorway, which I thought matched pretty well. And I'm almost done with these. So I really should have done the toes in black too, but that's really okay. So I started these toe up, I did the foot, I've done the 2 heels, and I pretty much went up the leg as far as I had yarn left for. And when I cast these on, actually when I cast on my husband's originally, because I also did his 2 at a time, I split the ball into 2 50-gram balls. So I just knit on these until the first one ran out. They weren't perfectly even, and then I started the cuffs. So I'm hoping to finish these cuffs in the next few days, so then these will be all done. They are going to be kind of short, which is fine. I'll do at least a 2-inch cuff to give it some more height, so it'll work out fine. And this is the first pair I'm making for him, so we'll see how they fit, how he likes them, and we'll see how that goes. So those are socks. I really I did all 12 months of that self-striping club and through Desert Vista Dye Works, and it was a lot. You know, I did learn that I could knit a pair of socks pretty quickly, but I lost a lot of sock mojo during the year last year, and those were pretty much the only socks I was knitting on. And so even casting these on was a bit of a mental struggle, just because I was so excited to work on some other things. But I'm happy to do them, and I love having socks to work on while I am at the movies or reading. I just love having vanilla socks like that. So I did enjoy that project, and it's funny because now I'm starting to feel like I'm getting a little sock mojo back a little bit, but we'll see. So those are those socks, and I think that'll be my next cast off. So again, I don't have too much that I'm working on right now, but this next project is also pretty fun. I have a local yarn store literally just a few miles from my house, and I go to a weekly sit and stitch when I can on Sundays. And a few weeks ago, the store owner, was doing a tasting of this yarn, which I don't carry tags around with me. Oh no, I do. So this is Juniper Moon Farms, and it's the Cumulus dappled yarn, and the color is Sandcastle. And this yarn is actually a cotton blend yarn. It's mostly cotton with some nylon in it, and it is so soft. I did not know this was cotton until someone told me, and so I had to buy some just because I've never knit with cotton before, and I thought it would be a really fun yarn to try it out with. So I decided to cast on the escarpment cowl, which is a pretty bandana style cowl, but it connects in the back. So it looks like a bandana scarf, but it has a connection in the back. So why I like that for this is because since it's cotton, I figure it'll be good for springtime or early fall when you want something, but its wool is a little too heavy. And so I wanted a pattern that wasn't too much bulk. So the fact that it connects in the back, but it doesn't have like all the wraps that you would normally have with a regular shawl, I thought would work really well. So here's what I have so far. And this is pretty much just from one sit and stitch. I cast it on 1 week, and then I was using too small of needles and it was too dense. And again, I wanted it to be pretty airy, so you can probably see it's a lot, it's a lot lighter now with the bigger needles. And I've pretty much been making this my sit and stitch project, except for this weekend I worked on something else. But yeah, so I think the pattern is pretty straightforward. It's a basic kind of vanilla, except for the increases that you do, which is a pretty interesting technique. So if you're interested, it's a little bit different take on a knit front and back, so check that out. And then I'm just continuing back and forth until it is long enough to go around my neck. So I have a little bit more to do there. So again, that's the escarpment cowl. So those are probably the 2 WIPs. I did finish my little tune sweater. That will have a little shorter vlog during this week, and then I'll do it as a faux Friday probably in the next coming weeks. So I'm not going to show that today because you'll get sick of it. So one other project that I'll show is my northeasterly blanket, and this is something that I work on. And this is something that I work on before bed. I kind of just pick it up right before bed. I can read while I work on it. I can watch a video if I want to watch a video. And I'm actually working on this with all of my hand-dyed yarn. So this is samples that I did when I was learning how to dye and practicing different techniques and everything. So if you look at the beginning here, these are some of the first skeins that I've ever dyed. So I tried to do like a mock self-striping color. This one is actually an early take on Love at First Sight, which is how it got its name because I love that skein so much I had to keep dyeing. So yeah, I just played with a lot of the colors. So now when I have little 5-gram minis, I just add them in. So I plan for this to be a little lap blanket, maybe even put it behind here so there's some color in the background here. But yeah, I kind of set a goal of doing 5 colors per month, but it really doesn't happen and I don't make myself do it. I just kind of work on it as I can. So again, that's before bed knitting. So that is it with what's currently on my needles. Again, I finished up a lot of projects recently and I am working on a lot of samples, and so I've been trying to work through them monogamously. So I really just don't have too much on the needles as it is. But I did want to show what my next cast on will be. So this is my colorway called Graffiti, and if you follow this channel, you've seen a lot of this recently. I dyed this up last week, so there was a vlog on it. And yeah, so Graffiti is a deep dark charcoal gray with teal and browns and gold and peaches and some pinks. And I'm going to be knitting the 103 hat by Boston Jen. Again, I'm trying to do this as another shop sample. I wanted more DK samples because I naturally like to knit with fingering weight yarn for the most part, and so I did that little tune sweater and now this hat out of my DK base to have more samples out of that. So I will be casting this on, I think, right as soon as I finish those socks. So again, my goal is to finish those socks in the next couple of days so that I can cast on this hat, and then I have one more sample I want to do this month. So yeah, I want to probably try to finish this up this week if I can. Hats usually go pretty quick, so I think it'll be okay, but we'll see. And that is it. So that is it for my first kind of WIP post. I hope you enjoyed seeing that progress. Again, I don't have too much on the needles. I've been going pretty monogamously, and I finished a lot of objects recently. I finished this sweater, I finished my time trade shawl, so you can check out the vlog on my time trade shawl once that was done. And I finished that little baby sweater recently, so I'm kind of in the middle right now, and my cats are wrestling in the background. So anyway, that is it. Make sure you subscribe, let me know what you think, and have a great week. Bye.